Clara Evans wasn't a headline. She wasn't trending. She didn't live in a place that ever made the news. She was simply ordinary. At 63, Clara lived alone in a small, second-story apartment above a flower shop in the old part of town, Maplewood. She'd been widowed young, never had kids, and spent the last few decades watching her world grow quieter year by year. She had routines, her comfort zones. One of them was her morning walk to the park. Every day, rain or shine, Clara brewed her single cup of coffee, packed a simple sandwich, and walked 2 blocks to Maplewood Park. Always to the same spot, a weathered wooden bench nestled beneath a massive sycamore tree near the playground. It wasn't anything special, but it was hers. She'd sit, sip her coffee, and watch the world go by. Mothers juggling toddlers, joggers with earbuds, old men playing chess with no one watching. Sometimes people waved, most didn't. Still, Clara showed up, because showing up was what she did. Then one Tuesday morning, something was different. Clara noticed a small shape curled up under the sycamore. At first, she thought it was just a backpack or maybe a stray dog, but as she got closer, she saw her. A little girl, no older than 8, tangled brown hair, knees scraped, face smudged with dirt. She sat with her back against the tree, clutching a stuffed rabbit that looked like it had been through a storm. Ears floppy, seams fraying. She wasn't crying loudly. In fact, she was barely making a sound. But Clara could see the trembling, the kind of shaking that comes when the tears have already run out. Clara froze. Dozens of people walked by. Some glanced, most didn't. And Clara felt something shift inside her. A pull, a purpose. She opened her bag and took out the sandwich, ham and cheese, her husband's favorite, and slowly approached. She knelt down, holding out the sandwich with both hands like an offering. "You don't have to talk," Clara whispered, "but you do have to eat." The girl didn't move. Clara gently placed the sandwich on the ground beside her and backed away, sat down on her bench, and waited. Minutes passed, then more. Finally, the girl's small hand crept out, grabbed the sandwich, and hugged it to her chest before biting into it, ravenous and cautious all at once. Clara said nothing. She didn't even smile. She just sipped her coffee and kept her eyes forward, giving the child what she needed most: space and safety. That was day 1. On day 2, Clara brought 2 sandwiches. She placed them on the same spot near the sycamore, offering a gentle, "You can pick," before settling onto her bench. The girl chose the one with peanut butter and banana. On day 3, she came a little closer. Still didn't speak, but sat 5 feet from Clara instead of 15. By day 4, she whispered, "Thank you." By day 5, she sat beside Clara and quietly ate while Clara talked about the weather, her garden, and how birds always seem smarter than people gave them credit for. Clara never asked her name, never pushed, but each day the girl was there, and so was Clara. She started bringing little things: a coloring book, crayons, a note on a napkin. "You are safe here. You are not alone." The girl started bringing something too, a folded piece of notebook paper handed to Clara with small hands. Inside was a drawing of a bench, 2 stick figures, one with glasses, the other with a bunny. "She sees me," it said beneath it. Clara couldn't stop the tears that time. Not everyone understood. A man walking his golden retriever muttered, "Isn't it strange, an old woman feeding a random kid every day?" Someone else snapped a picture and posted it on the neighborhood Facebook group with the caption, "Unattended child being fed by stranger. Should someone be concerned?" Clara saw it. She didn't reply. She didn't have time for noise, and she had someone to feed. Then one morning, day 10, the bench was empty. The sandwich sat untouched. The sycamore's shadow stretched long and lonely. Clara waited an hour, then 2. No lily, no rabbit, no crayon drawing. Her chest felt hollow. Day 11, nothing. Day 12, Clara brought the same sandwich, placed it under the tree, and sat anyway. When she returned the next day, the sandwich was gone, but she wasn't sure if it had been eaten or taken by an animal. Then came day 13. The sun was barely up, and Clara was already seated on the bench, holding the sandwich in her lap. Her hand trembled as she took a sip from the thermos. She whispered to herself, "Just one more day. Then I'll stop. That's when she heard it. Not footsteps, an engine. Low, smooth, powerful. From the edge of the park, a long black limousine rolled across the pavement, tires whispering against the ground. It turned off the main road and stopped right in front of the sycamore. Clara blinked. This was not the kind of car that visited Maplewood Park. The door opened. A tall man stepped out, sharp gray suit, crisp white shirt, a gold pin on his lapel. Behind him, a woman stepped out holding a brown folder to her chest. The man looked directly at Clara. "Ma'am, are you the one who's been bringing sandwiches here every day?" Clara slowly stood. "Yes, I was. For a little girl who—" She stopped. "Why?" The man's eyes softened. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a photo. It was her, the girl, clean, smiling, wearing a white dress and a birthday hat. "That's my daughter," he said. "Her name is Lily." Clara's eyes filled instantly. She didn't say her name. She never said anything about where she came from. The woman beside him stepped forward. "She wouldn't have," she said gently. "She was traumatized. She'd been missing for almost 2 months." The man continued. "After my wife died, Lily disappeared. We searched everywhere, hired private investigators, filed a missing child report. Nothing." He handed Clara the brown folder. She kept a notebook with her, filled with drawings, notes about a woman with glasses, a woman who gave her sandwiches and never asked questions. "You." Clara's hands shook as she flipped through the pages. Each one was a tribute, a thank you. One page read, "She talks to me like I matter. She makes me forget I'm sad." Then came a voice behind her. "Miss Clara?" Clara turned. There she was. Lily, hair brushed, wearing clean clothes, clutching the stuffed rabbit, now sewn and whole again. Tears streamed down Clara's face as Lily ran into her arms and wrapped her tight in a hug that said more than words ever could. "I missed you," Lily whispered. "I missed you too, baby," Clara said, cradling her like her own. In the weeks that followed, Clara was invited to dinner. Then again, and again. She never stopped walking to Maplewood Park. Only now she didn't come alone. Lily would come with her, sitting on the bench beside her, like they'd done in silence. But this time, with laughter and stories. And once a month, Lily would bring a sandwich, wrapped in wax paper, with a note tucked inside. She'd place it under the sycamore and walk away, in case another soul just like her needed someone to see them. Because sometimes it only takes one person to rewrite someone's story. Clara didn't have fame. She didn't have wealth. She didn't even have a smartphone. But what she did have was time, patience, and a heart that refused to look away. And in the world we live in, that makes her a hero. If you believe small acts of kindness still change lives, type "I believe" in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more real-life stories that remind us. The people we overlook are often the ones who carry the greatest light.